Hello, everybody. Welcome to this video lecture, which is called From Sentences to Paragraphs. In the same way that words take on more precise meanings when they are arranged into sentences, sentences are able to communicate still more elaborate meanings when they are allowed to build on one another and develop ideas across multiple sentences. Sometimes a single sentence standing alone can have enormous emotional force, but the real work of writing begins when a single sentence is recognized not as an end in itself, like a slogan or a tagline, but when it becomes the starting point for other sentences that go on to build on the first sentence, or to challenge it, or to apply it, or to go wherever we need to go in order to understand the initial sentence more fully. Indeed, one of the intriguing features of sentences is that they always invite a response. Because words and ideas are sticky, because the brain is defined by interconnectivity, any intelligible sentence can't help suggesting a reply, an extension, a way of fine-tuning the idea it expresses. If I say, the sky is blue, it might sound like the end of a conversation, a definitive statement of truth. But if I stop to think about the statement as the beginning of a conversation rather than the ending, it may occur to me that the sky that I see out the window right now is actually gray. I might say something like, the sky is blue, except when the weather is overcast, or when it's night, or when it's sunrise or sunset. And even when it is blue, it's rarely a completely flat blue, like from a paint can. It's shaded in gradations of intensity. It's flecked with clouds, and it's filled with the sun, an object that's so bright that you can't even look at it to see what color it is. If you could, you would see that the sun fills the sky with the dazzling light of all the colors that we see, as well as many others that we can't see. The sky is blue, but that's only part of the story. So this is a paragraph. The important cognitive work that it does is to take one sentence, often the first sentence in the paragraph, known as the paragraph's topic sentence, and think into it, explaining what it means, why it's true, or how it fits into a bigger truth. A paragraph, that is not only a block of words, it's an intellectual journey into the work that words and ideas can do when they get together. It's also a kind of formula for how to take a simple idea and dig out its hidden complexity. In most academic and professional writing, the paragraph is the basic unit of meaning, the bricks that make up the structure of an academic essay, an article, or a book. Once you know the formula for making these bricks, you can use them to build your own arguments, evolve your own theories, and articulate your own perspective. It is important to recognize that there are different kinds of paragraphs. If you look at a newspaper, magazine, or online article, you will likely discover that the paragraphs are extremely short, one or two sentences. This style of writing efficiently communicates nuggets of information, but in academic and professional writing, where the ideas are more complex, sentences tend to be longer, between 7 and 10 sentences long. This makes sense considering that academic and professional writing uses the content of a paragraph to develop ideas rather than simply to report them. Also, if you are reading fiction, you may notice that the logic organizing the paragraphs is different from the structure of the paragraphs that we're talking about in this lecture. Fiction uses paragraphs for dramatic purposes rather than for argumentative purposes. So paragraphs in fictional writing tend not to have the same kind of topic sentence plus development structure that we saw in the blue sky paragraph. There are also introduction paragraphs and conclusion paragraphs, which we'll be talking about in the next lecture. They have a different function and they have their own structural conventions. Most of the paragraphs you'll be writing throughout your college career and beyond are what we can call argumentative body paragraphs. They're argumentative in the sense that they are dedicated to supporting some kind of statement or position, and they are body paragraphs in the sense that they come in the middle of an essay, article, or research paper, rather than as the first paragraph, which is the introduction, or the last paragraph, which is the concluding paragraph. The body paragraphs are the paragraphs of a composition where most of the thinking happens, and where the topic sentence plus development structure allows writers to dig into ideas they want to explore. We have already pointed out the most salient feature of this kind of paragraph, which is the topic sentence. Typically, the topic sentence articulates the controlling idea of the paragraph, the key idea that holds the whole paragraph together. This is not always the case. In the blue sky paragraph, for example, although the topic sentence is "the sky is blue," the controlling idea of the paragraph is actually the argument that the sky is not really blue. But the topic sentence still establishes the subject that the paragraph will be about, the blueness of the sky, and it does the important work of opening up the subject so that the following sentences can enter into the debate. In this sample paragraph, the argument that the sky is not really blue is supported by a series of counterexamples that start off with the most obvious, cloudy weather, night, sunrise, and sunset, and move toward less obvious examples, the different shades of blue in the sky and the strange case of the sun, which is both impossible to look at and also the source of all color and vision. It then concludes with a sentence that sums up the argument that the paragraph makes and indicates a sense of rhetorical closure, a kind of mic drop statement that stands as the final word on the subject, at least for now, at least until I start the cycle going again in the next paragraph. And here you have the three components that make up an argumentative body paragraph: the topic sentence, the development or support for the topic sentence, and the concluding remark. Topic sentences get a lot of attention, but the concluding remark is also as important, not only to help assist the reader's ability to follow the writer's argument, but also to help keep the writer on track. Sometimes paragraphs wander away from their topic sentences, and this can be a wonderful thing, but the concluding remark gives the writer a chance to remind themselves of what they were supposed to be writing about. They can either try to bring the concluding remark back around in a way that brings the unexpected ideas back into alignment with the main argument, or they can copy and paste the new ideas into another part of their document and use them as the starting point for new paragraphs. Paragraphs can do many things. Some of the most common kinds of paragraphs include the following categories. On this slide, each category is demonstrated with an example of a topic sentence that might be used to begin such a paragraph. Argument: the sky is not blue. Narration: I looked up this morning and noticed something about the sky. Description: the sky today looks dark and ominous, without a hint of blue to be seen. Definition: the dictionary defines the sky as, quote, the region of the atmosphere and outer space as seen from Earth, end quote. But it's really much more than that. Process analysis: to correctly view the sky, you need to follow a few simple steps. Cause and effect: looking at the sky inspires feelings of wonder. Classification: there are several major kinds of clouds. Comparison and contrast: the appearance of the sky on a sunny day contrasts remarkably with the appearance of the night sky. While there are slight differences in how these different kinds of paragraphs are written, they all follow the basic argumentative pattern, which is that the sentences in the middle of the paragraph do the work of developing or supporting the idea articulated in the topic sentence. Each of these topic sentences suggests certain kinds of evidence, details, or implications, and it is the paragraph's job to sniff them out and follow wherever they lead. In this way, the paragraph structure can help a writer to do the cognitive work of breaking down a complex idea into its component elements, and also of thinking about the relationship among those elements. If I know that I have to write a paper about birds, for instance, thinking of the paper as a finite series of paragraphs can help me take this vast topic and pin it down to a series of specific paragraphs. A paragraph about different kinds of birds, a paragraph about bird anatomy, a paragraph about bird song. Thinking about this writing project as a series of paragraphs makes it feel a lot more manageable. I just have to follow the formula and write the paragraphs out, crafting one brick at a time.